Ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, here we are on episode 29 of the Fighters Rep podcast. It's your man, the Fighters Rep Fez, joined by none other than Ignorant Behavior, representing for down south in Richmond Heights, Miami, Florida. How you doing, young man?
I'm good, man. How you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I called you young man, but you just took those glasses off, man. We're getting old, man.
You exposing me right now. Shoot, I didn't even put the Beijing in here yet. I gotta put the Beijing. Get that.
I need the DJ Khaled crayon for this thing, man.
Oh man, you're exposing me, George.
Yeah, it's good. It's all good. It's all good. Listen, today, Knuckleheads, we're going to be talking about Canelo versus Munguia. It's going down, Gary, May 4th, T-Mobile Arena. There's something I got to touch on that, but we're gonna continue the introduction here. We're also going to talk about this weekend's fights. Tszyu versus Fundora, who's replacing Keith Thurman, who was supposed to be fighting Tim Tszyu. It's now Sebastian Fundora. And, of course, that card, Gary, we've also got Rolly Romero, right, taking on Isaac Pitbull Cruz. And we've got Arislandi Lara, who still has a middleweight title, believe it or not.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, taking on Michael Zarafa on the same card. So there's 3 title fights on the same card. So that's what the show is going to be about today. But there's so much going on in boxing, Gary, that me and you could just at any moment go off on a tangent and end up in Never Land and have to click our heels twice to come back to Kansas or Florida, wherever the hell we're at this point. So that's what could happen. But first and foremost, how are you doing, man? I don't think we did the show last week. How are you doing?
I mean, I'm good. First of all, I want to apologize. We've been hit and miss here, there, missing, but we're back on right now. And man, I've been good, man. I've been trying to work out, get myself back in shape, get my son in shape and everything. But I'm ready for. I'm a little disappointed with some things that's going on in boxing, and I'm a little hyped. I mean, because I was ready for this stretch of fights.
Yeah. Well, you've piqued my interest now. I mean, before we get into Canelo versus Munguia, which is the big topic today, what is it that's disappointing you? Because now I'm intrigued.
Well, I'm disappointed that I don't get one time against against Tim Tszyu. Like that really disappointed me, and all this Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, I feel like it's an out going on here. If somebody loses, if Ryan loses, it's a little bit of out. It's kind of I feel like it's kind of put a strain on the fight, kind of, you know what I mean? Like it takes away from it. I know Ryan thinks he's building it up, but I feel like it's kind of like making everybody kind of like, well, I don't think he's in the right mind frame and this and that, and it kind of it just takes away from it. I don't want no excuses. I
hear you. So let's get into the first one right away, man. Canelo versus Munguia, the face of boxing still, Gary. He's still the face of boxing, in my opinion, against Jaime Munguia. A lot of people are chirping and yapping and blabbering about David Benavidez. But listen, Jaime Munguia is a dangerous guy, man. He's a guy, in my opinion, of course, who just beat John Ryder way worse than Canelo beat him. He's young. He's hungry. He's a Mexican as well. There's going to be some pride on the line there. And I wouldn't say that I favor him to win, but I will say this, Gary. I think he's going to be tougher to handle and tougher to deal with than people are expecting. What are your thoughts on this fight?
First of all, I want to say that Canelo, he's normally a well-dressed guy. He has this, whenever he wears a suit, it fits. It fits and it looks nice on him. His clothes look nice on him. I don't know who his tailor is, but he gets everything tailor-made for him. Okay? This guy is tailor made
I
for
knew
him.
you were going there. I knew you were going there. That's a good one.
Maybe the guy who made his suits picked
Yeah.
this fight for him, but it's
Wow.
tailor made for him, bro. Come on, man. You get a guy who's not gonna move around, not that he doesn't have to chase, that is gonna be there for him, flat-footed, gonna be there for him, wants to engage. And to me, Canelo is a better defensive fighter than Munguia. He's more, he's been through more wars. He's more, he has
But that could
more,
be a bad thing, right? That could be
huh?
a bad thing. That could be a bad thing. He's been through more wars. He's not the fresher fighter.
Most of the time it's a good thing. When you got experience and you know how to be in there, he's been in there with the likes of Triple G. He's been in there with Bivol. He's been in there with Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders. He's been in there with
Mayweather, Cotto, Mosley.
Yeah, man. Everybody. What can you show? You're not going to show him nothing because you don't have that in your bag. You don't have that. Like Bivol had it in his bag to show him something.
Yeah.
Kovalev, the Crusher. He's been through everybody. And you telling me a flat-footed boxer that is gonna want to go through a war, who doesn't have great defense, is gonna beat Canelo right now? That's why Canelo picked him over Benavidez.
I don't think he's gonna beat Canelo. It's hard to pick against Canelo, man, against anyone. But I just think this guy's young. My thing is, this guy's young. He's hungry. He's improving. Has he lost? Has Jaime Munguia even lost a fight?
No.
Yeah, he's got.
He has a high knockout rate too,
dude. He hits hard. He's got confidence. He's the taller guy. He's 6 feet tall, Gary. Dude, he's got 43 fights, 34 wins by knockout, no losses. This guy's 43-0. I mean, that's pretty good. Now, I will say, obviously the level of competition is nowhere near Canelo Alvarez. I mean, Canelo Alvarez is probably one of the best resumes in boxing right now, but he did TKO John Ryder in the last fight, and that's why a lot of people, will make a case for this being a good fight. And he got a unanimous decision over Derevyanchenko, who's a tough guy, but I think Derevyanchenko had him pretty pretty bad in that fight. So, you don't. If that happens with Canelo, he's getting you out of there.
He's closing the show.
Yeah, he's getting you out of there. But 27 years old, man, 43-0, 34 knockouts, trained by Freddie Roach, knows this is the opportunity of a lifetime, man. I just feel like, and Mexican, and a lot of pride on the line, and it's basically a Cinco de Mayo fight. It's happening May 4th, but it's a Cinco de Mayo fight, man. It's gonna be a lot of pride on the line there, Gary. A lot of pride, Gary, on the line.
Pride been a lot of men downfall. A lot of men downfall. What I always find is people go, I ain't scared of him. Being not scared don't mean you can't get your ass whooped. Okay? Right. Now, I'm not going to say this is going to be an ass whooping. I actually think this is going to be an entertaining fight. This is going to be for however long it lasts. If it lasts the whole 12 rounds or if it gets stopped short. I felt the Ryder fight with Canelo was a good fight. Yeah. And I get why people line Ryder up and they go, hey, well, he gave Canelo everything he could.
Right.
I get it. But Canelo wants a guy that's going to stand in front of him and try to trade, a guy that's not going to move around. Canelo at this age, you see he wears the knee braces. He's looking like me when I get on the basketball court now.
Oh, easy there, Tiger. Easy there, Tiger.
I was just saying, you see, he's not like young Canelo can move a lot better. This Canelo, he ain't trying to chase everybody, man. He's like, can we fight, bro? Like, I don't want to chase you.
He's got those middle-aged Colonial Park knees, is what he's got.
But those of you who don't know Colonial Park, it's a park around that area we grew up at. But yeah, you always get you always get the older guy at the park that comes. He got the knee band on. But let me tell you something. I got worked by that older guy. You thought he wasn't his prime himself, but man, he was going up and down that court. Same thing with Canelo, man. He's
Well, you know,
Canelo is not like he
Canelo.
used to be, but he's still good, man.
Well, look, Canelo. I mean, I think the jury's still out on that, right? Because Canelo didn't look all that good against Ryder. But let's not forget, after that, September, he fought Jermell Charlo, right? And
Mhm.
he looked good in that fight, dude. Jermell Charlo was just trying to survive in that fight. He almost knocked him out in that
Well, I
fight.
won't say he looked good, but that wasn't his fault. It was Jamel.
Right,
It
right.
wasn't an impressive win because it basically he was a bully against somebody who didn't want to fight him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then, the other thing is Canelo, Gary, he's still only 33, dude. Like he's
He's been
still
through
only
wars.
33, man. Like you would expect somebody, God, who's done as much as he's done for as long as he did. Dude, I feel like he's staying the same age and we keep getting older. How's this guy 33, dude? So I think a lot of people are still entering their prime at 30. I think your prime is 33. I think
He's
that's your
not.
prime.
He's not. He's not. He's not.
I think we're gonna have
He,
to wait and see. I think we're gonna have to wait and see. That's
mentally, and this is what a lot of athletes say, is that mentally you enter your prime where your body is. You got to think about he fought a lot of top-notch fighters, been through a lot of fights,
yeah.
and his hair is thinning. And I ain't the one to talk because mine's back here like Stephen A. But I'm just saying, as it goes on, man, it's just you can see. I feel like when I watched him earlier in Canelo's career, he had more bounce. Maybe it's just him being smarter, saying I don't have to move, I don't have to have this. I can just stalk guys and walk them down. But
No.
Canelo had more movement. Who was it? I'm trying to think. He fought against that. He was just dodging punches, moving around the ring. He don't do that no more.
I think you're talking about God, isn't that New York guy? The guy from New York? Uh, Danny
He was
Jacobs.
undefeated when he fought Canelo.
Daniel Jacobs? Was it
Oh,
Daniel
not
Jacobs?
Danny Jacobs. He was doing that too. But
Yeah.
even before Danny Jacobs, he fought I can't think of his name right now. He was undefeated when he fought him. But he put in I can't think of his name right now. I don't have my computer with me right now, so I can't look it up.
Yeah.
But I can't think of it right now. But yeah, just coming up, he was a little bit more. He was a little quicker. He was more moving around the ring now. And you know what? You do that in the bedroom, man. Back in the day, it used to be like Now you just know the angles, bro. You know the angles. Like I ain't got to do all that.
Yeah,
I can get her to go like this.
You just hit the money ball right off the bat. That's what you just shoot the money ball right away. Skip the first four. Take the money ball. Hurricane Santana's in here. He says easy win for Canelo, and he says, "No, bro, Canelo can move. Canelo can move, but we'll see, man. We'll see. I think I may partially agree with Gary. I mean, I want to see what he looks like in this next fight because, listen, he did come off a pretty serious surgery when he fought John Ryder, right? And it was I want to say it was his wrist or his hand, something pretty necessary for a boxing match. So we'll see what he looks like. I thought he looked pretty good against Charlo. Charlo was running away the whole time. Not really much you can do with a guy like that. That's similar to the Duran Ennis, Russian guy situation we were talking about.
Karen.
Yeah, Karen. So yeah, we'll see. I want to see what he looks like against Munguia. And I agree with you, Gary. I think this is going to be a fun fight, man. I think it's going to be a fun fight. Even if Canelo outclasses him,
yeah,
he's going to make it entertaining for the fans, man.
Oh, this is a very entertaining fight. Don't get me wrong. Like you won't be disappointed because Munguia, he's going to be a guy that's going to want to trade, and he's going to come in there and he's going to hit Canelo.
And
go ahead.
Well, he's got a lot of experience, man, for a 27-year-old. I mean, he's got 43 fights, man. Like I would say, maybe he's sort of where Canelo. Let's see where Canelo was at 43 fights. Right, I'm looking through the record now. So Canelo was fighting Austin Trout.
That's who I was talking about. Trout. That's who I was talking about.
Yeah. Canelo fought Austin Trout, it looks like, for around his 43rd fight. And then the following one was Mayweather. So, he was younger than Munguia, but Munguia is still relatively young, 27 years old, 43 fights, man. That's no joke, man.
But yeah, like you just mentioned, Austin Trout. That's what I couldn't remember who it was. Austin Trout was a top-notch boxer at the time.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was.
And he had some athletic, and Canelo was dodging, moving, making him miss like crazy and countering. Then he dropped Trout like once or twice or something like that.
He did drop him at least once. I remember he hit him and he kind of made him do the stanky leg thing a little bit. He fell down.
Yeah.
He came back up though, and he made a fight out of it. Respect to Austin Trout, man. That ended up still being a good fight, but yeah, it was Canelo's like defense and definitely his power that won him that fight.
And now Canelo, I don't see him moving like that on his toes. I don't see him doing that. Sorry, Hurricane Santana. I just don't see it, and it happens to all of us in every sport, and just in life. If you're not playing the sport, Santana, it just happens. One day you go for the dunk.
Santana's getting there, boy. He's in his 30s. He's getting there. One day he's gonna turn around, and one day he's gonna turn around like this, and his back's gonna freeze up. He's gonna be like, Jordan, what happened? But anyway, But anyway, on to the I kind of want to get your prediction. Obviously I think we both think Canelo's going to win this fight. But does he stop? You think he stops Munguia? You think he gets the decision? What do you think happens here?
Stops him in like the 8th or the 9th.
Yeah.
8th or 9th. It's going to be a hell of a fight, but 8th or 9th.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's hard, man, because unanimous decision over Ryder, unanimous decision over Golovkin before that, unanimous decision over Charlo. It's been 4 unanimous decisions in a row. The first one was the loss to Dimitri Bivol. So it's a tough one. The last person he stopped was Caleb Plant. The thing is, Munguia, you're right, Gary, he comes to fight, man. He comes to fight. It's going to be a lot of pride on the line. And that pride's been the downfall of many men, like you said.
Yeah.
So are you getting the typical Monday night sugar on the way out, or
no.
Okay. I thought we were gonna get lucky for a second, but
not yet.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with you, man. I'm gonna say late stoppage. I would say between 9 and 12, just because Munguia is gonna come to fight, and he's gonna eat something he doesn't like. I think in those late rounds.
If I had to bet money, I say 8 or 9. I say 8. I'm not gonna say 8 or 9. 8.
I'll go with 10.
10?
I think 10.
Okay.
You owe me a whiskey if I'm right. I owe you a whiskey if you're right.
Come on, man. I'm black. I need some Hennessy, bro.
Well, on to the next one. Is this weekend's fights, man. We got, a fantastic card going down this weekend on, of all places, Amazon Prime Video pay-per-view, Gary. And, that's a big deal, first and foremost, that Amazon's now airing boxing. Because I guess, the world lost Showtime boxing. Amazon stepping up, good on them. You can tell them feel free to air some fighters rep fights, might be good for their business as well. But Tszyu versus Sebastian Fundora, Rolly Romero versus Isaac Cruz, Erislandy Lara versus Michael Zarafa. You got a little bit of something for everybody on this card, man. You got a character in Rolly Romero. You've got a really good boxer puncher in Tszyu. Sebastian Fundora is a really tall guy, so it's almost like a very unusual matchup here. I don't know if you've seen them standing in front of each other, and then Lara, kind of a quick boxer.
Yeah, man, that's that picture of them standing in front of each other.
I
Like
thought it
Tim
was
Zoo's like
dope.
literally at his. But I just don't understand how somebody can be that tall and still fight at that weight.
Yeah,
Like that's crazy to me. I always found Fundora like crazy. Like, how do you that? Because you're just so thin. But I got Tim Zoo winning that easy. I got Tim Zoo winning that
yeah.
because Tim Zoo he he's gonna stalk him and break him down. And I believe Fundora got knocked out in his last fight, right?
I think so. Yeah, by Brian Mendoza. Brian Mendoza
Yeah.
KO'd him
He
and took the WBC interim light middleweight title off of him. By the way, light middleweight, 154 pounds, Gary, at 6'5.5" with an 80-inch
that's what I'm
reach.
saying. How are you that tall? And that's he's like Wimby in basketball, but
Yeah,
whatever. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
but he would hit all of his height. He doesn't fight long.
No.
He engages with people and he gets caught. I remember he fought Erickson Lubin. And
Yeah,
that was a war, man. He was getting hit. His defense is not top notch. Now his output, his punch output is crazy. He
yeah.
punches a lot with his punch output and all that stuff like that. But his but what you call it, he doesn't have the greatest defense. And
No,
I
no.
think Tim Zoo is so technical and he knows how to break you down. And if you don't want to fight long, as tall as you are, you don't fight long.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of Paul. What's his name? What's his last name?
Paul Williams. Paul Williams.
Paul Williams. That lost against Sergio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Paul Williams had a lot of output. Paul Williams was a little bit more defensive sound, but he had a lot of output and
Yeah.
he didn't fight long though, even though he
Right.
was a tall guy. And eventually Sergio timed him up, clocked him, knocked him out. I see the same thing with Fundora getting knocked out by Tim Zoo, breaking down, knock him out, get him out of there.
That's actually a really great comparison. I would agree with that comparison a lot. I do think Zoo is a really good boxer and he hits hard. I feel like he's not as like slick as Sergio Martinez was.
No, no,
Martinez
no,
was
no,
like trying to
no.
be cute all the time. But Zoo is a good boxer. I feel like if anything, he probably I don't know, probably hits harder. That's what
Yeah.
I would say. He seems to hit very hard, and yeah,
Hmm.
I don't think that's gonna bode well for Fundora, who likes to stay in the pocket with also
Yeah.
6'5" of himself, and try to engage in a war with a guy like Zoo. So I hear you, Gary. I think Zoo gets this done with authority, brother. I think he gets this done with authority.
So let me ask you something. What
Yeah.
do you think about the possibility? Because it's been floating out there saying that after Bud will fight the winner.
I'm confused about the whole Bud thing. I mean, what's going on? So are him and Errol Spence not happening? I mean, don't they have a rematch clause? Like, what the hell's happening there?
I mean, I don't think it's happening. It has to be a time limit for Errol Spence to actually. I mean, it's been over a year since they fought, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, it has to be contractually some type of. Bud talks like he's moving on.
yeah.
There's been talks of him fighting Tim Zoo, Canelo, things of that nature. And now they're saying that the what is it that Tim Zoo has, the WBO, or what does he have? That they're saying they're making Terrence Crawford the mandatory.
Well, I'll watch it. That's for sure. But Tim Tszyu, what's he got now? WBO light middleweight title. Yep.
Yeah.
WBO light middleweight title. And yeah, I mean that would be a great fight, though. That would be a great fight.
I mean, whoever it is, I think I'm going with Terrence. But I mean, hopefully it can happen. I feel bad for Keith Thurman because this really could have put him back on top if he could have fought and won.
Yeah,
I wasn't picking him to win,
me neither. Yeah, me neither.
but if he did fight and went and won, he's back up there
Good.
with the elites.
Yeah,
And it just sucks that he what happened, but I feel bad for him. But now it's like, now I want to see Tszyu Bud.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I do think he gets through Fundora. I don't know what's going to happen with Crawford, but if that fight happens, I think it'll be. I actually think that'll be a great fight. I actually think that'll be a great fight. I
yeah,
mean, I would favor Crawford, but I
yeah.
don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for Tszyu to win that fight.
Oh
Just because,
no, no,
yeah, just because he's the bigger guy naturally, and
he
he
hits
can
hard.
hit hard. Yeah, and he
He's
can
very
box.
technical.
He can box, so he's a bigger guy. So that'd be a very tough fight for Terrence Crawford. I actually really like that fight, and I hope that fight happens. But if I'm being honest, man, I'd rather see Crawford rematch Spence, and then I don't know, go from there, man. I want to see the rematch.
I
Um,
don't.
no,
I
I
don't
want to see the
because
rematch. I don't like him having to go up to find a fight at the next weight class. The guy deserves to fight it. I mean, if that's what he wants, by
well,
all means. I
I,
mean,
I just feel like not because I'm still an Errol Spence fan. Like I still like Errol,
yeah,
but the time to have that rematch is over. I feel like it's been too long. You've taken so much after he beat you the first time. It was so many excuses.
we know
What's
what's
going to
going to
happen?
happen. Too. We know what's going to happen in that rematch. I mean, I think we know what's going to happen. But I
Yeah, I
guess
think Crawford
I
wins
just
again.
I just feel like I don't know, man. Should he move up in weight class? Does he
Which
does he
one, Bud or Errol?
Bud?
I mean, yeah, I mean, because that's here's my thing is, I don't want to see Errol and Bud again, only
Yeah,
because now Errol's been further compromised, and it's going to be an excuse. It was already
yeah,
an excuse the first fight
yeah,
that he was weight drained, that he's been through crashes, he's been through eye surgery is not going to help that, and
yeah,
I hate that is not a pure like we fight, we're both 100% healthy, nothing happened. Errol's been off for for how long and not fighting, not being active, not being able to train. That's going to be the excuse. Now, if
yeah,
Errol builds himself back up, fights a one or two more fights, and then you want to do that, yeah. But I don't want to see it now where it's excuses,
yeah,
that's going to be brought in. And my thing with Crawford is that I don't mind him going to 154 because I think he can do it.
yeah.
Now 168 with Canelo is kind of
That I don't like. That I don't
that
like that.
I'll watch it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna watch it.
I'll watch it too. I'll watch it too. But I
But
think at that
that's
point,
tough though.
I think at that point he's no longer the favorite. I mean, I
Favorite,
don't think
yeah.
he could be the favorite there. I mean, he could win. I will put it by him. I think he could beat anyone
Yeah,
with two hands. But man, that's you're really going
yeah.
far on that one.
I can see him fighting at 154 and winning. Cause
Yeah,
I mean, even
that's the way
Errol's
to
going to
go.
one. I can see Errol going up to 154 and winning. I
Maybe that
see
would be good. Maybe that would be good if they rematched at 154. That might be pretty cool too.
I want to see Errol fight somebody first before he jumps back in the ring with Terrence Crawford.
Yeah,
That's
with that.
my personal opinion. Is that because I don't want to hear the excuses of, oh, he's banged up, he's not the same, he's worn out, this that.
Yeah.
I want to see him put on a good performance, work somebody, and then we can say, okay, Errol's back, he's fine, and then I can really say that.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what Crawford does. I think he's in a real funky situation right now, man.
Errol
I think
handicapped him for real. Errol
yeah,
really handicapped him.
yeah.
And so
I think whatever happens, look, and I'm all for, with the whole fighters rep ethos. I'm not for A side versus B side fights, but I do think he's at the point in his career where he can call the shots who he wants to fight just because he's going to be the A side in negotiations pretty much unless it's with Canelo or someone else super famous, like maybe a Tank Davis if they ever fought, which I don't think will happen. But I do think it's time for him to like really go after the big money fights, maybe get some Saudi bags or something. He deserves it, at this point in his career with everything he's done. He's just in I feel bad for him. I feel like he's always in a weird situation that he's got to get out of. You know what I mean?
yeah, and I mean, it's not his. Well, I can say this. Part of it is part of it is his fault. Not all, most of it's not, but part of it when he signed back up with Top Rank, and PBC had all the
Welcome.
fighters,
Yeah.
in the welterweight division. I don't think that was the greatest move, and even I don't think it's the greatest move because I mean Bob Arum really didn't seem like he was interested in promoting Terrence like that because
Yeah.
they didn't get along. Because Bob Arum said some things about him and re-signing with Bob Arum may have cost him some big fights.
I
I
think
feel like if
Terrence. I
he
think
signed with
Terrence.
Eddie Hearn at PBC, he does much better.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think Terrence is just he's not the personality that our goofy society, our goofy ass society, I'm sorry to say it, is into like these controversial, halfway crazy, like idiots that a lot of boxing promoters want to promote. And I think that's unfortunate. I think if Aram would have put it out there, right, what this guy really is about, which is work ethic and toughness and that mean streak. I think that mean streak combined with the work ethic, I think it would have sold, man. I do think they kind of fell short when it
I
came
think
to promoting
I,
Terrence Crawford, even though he's not this crazy exciting personality, but he's got enough of a mean streak and work ethic and personality that they could have sold him better. That's my opinion.
I think no, I agree with you. I think Bob Arum is more so doing it back how they did back in the days. And I will go to which we're probably going to speak on later on. Somebody like Eddie Hearns, who is getting creative
Yeah.
with the way we do it. It's a new day and age, social media and all this. And you one of your fighters. You're getting money. You're supposed to be a promoter.
Yeah.
Promote me. I shouldn't have to. Even if I want to do it, that's cool. But it shouldn't always have to be if I'm not the personality to
Well, it's a bit of a dance,
promote.
though, Gary. It is a bit of a dance. Both dudes have to put in the work, in my opinion, right? Crawford had to do, maybe could have done more, but you got to do more as the promoter. It's in your name to promote
What my thing is if one thing people like is what George and Bach in the fight game. What do people like?
a lot of stuff, man. But
No, no, no,
controversy,
no,
goofiness,
no. What do in baseball chicks love the deep ball? What do
yeah,
they love in boxing? And
knockout,
what
knockout.
knockouts? What is his knockout ratio?
I
Pretty
don't know.
high, right?
Pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah,
He knocks out a lot of people.
yeah,
Even if he's not the personality, because everybody's not going to be the personality. This is where you earn your check. You sell the knockouts. You get him fights
yeah,
with certain names, and you work with certain people. I see Eddie Hearn work with people. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and say Anthony Joshua is the most exciting personality I've ever seen. He's
Yeah.
not. It's other people that, but you can sell them. You can sell somebody.
You sell the shit out of him. He's filling up soccer stadiums. And you're
Exactly.
right. That's a good comparison because he's a guy filling up soccer stadiums, and
He don't
he's
want the
more your
bullshit.
like right, and he's more like your traditional, just like good role model type, like work ethic, kind of like Bud Crawford. If anything, I think Bud Crawford has that mean streak that people could have really played up. Like, you're not beating me. Like, do whatever you want, think whatever you want. You're not beating me. And for me, that's something, I don't know. For me, that's super entertaining. Like, I
Yeah, yeah.
really appreciate that mindset because that takes a special kind of person, man. And I think a person like that should definitely be promoted better. But yeah, I guess so. We got Zoo winning. What's the prediction for Zoo Fundora?
Mm. Ah. I think.
Let me help you on this one. KO, mid round KO, bro. He's
You
getting this
think
guy
mid
out of there.
round?
I think he's getting this guy out of there mid rounds between 6 and 9, between 6 and 9. He's got to get him out of there.
I'll say this. I see him knocking Fundora down a couple times.
Yeah.
I don't see it that early. I see a stoppage, just him getting punished. I see a stoppage, maybe 10th. Just a
Okay.
stoppage, not a knockout, not a KO.
Okay.
Just all right, it's over. It's over. He
Yeah,
had
yeah,
enough.
yeah.
He
TKO.
got beat up
Yeah,
enough. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
that's right. But I see once again an entertaining fight because Fundora is going to throw. He's
Oh
going
yeah.
to throw.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. I just think, Zoo's got too much heavy artillery for him. That's just
Yeah,
what.
yeah, yeah.
And then Rolly Romero versus Isaac Cruz, man. Tell me what you think happens in that fight, because we know Rolly hits hard, but we know Isaac Cruz is a tough customer too, man. We saw his fight with Tank Davis. I thought he did really well in
Who
that
you think
fight.
I'm going with? Who you think I'm going with?
I don't know, man. I don't know, because I know you respect Rolly's power a lot, so I don't know. I don't know.
I'm going Isaac.
Cruz?
I'm going to Pitbull.
Okay, okay, okay.
I'm
Me
going
too.
Isaac Cruz.
Me too. Me
I
too.
just because I mean I think he's sound defensively. He
Yeah,
went against Tank, who has a lot of power. Didn't get knocked out.
yeah,
Gave Tank a lot of problems. He's a good boxer. I mean, he's short, but
yeah,
he's a good defensive wise. He's not great, but he's good.
yeah.
I wouldn't put him great, but he's good. He catches a lot of shots in the pocket. He knows how to fight in the pocket. He's gonna fight Rolly's game. But he's not gonna get hit with all those shots that other people do. And Rolly tends to. What was that fight? Who did he fight? He was losing. He got saved by the ref because the ref
Oh,
stopped the fight. It was
I want to say it's Vargas or something like that. The older guy, the one that looks like he's 50.
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Damn, George.
Let me look him up. Let me look
50?
him up. Oh, Barroso, Ismael
Yeah,
Barroso.
Barroso. He was losing that
Yeah,
fight, and he wobbled him, and the ref stopped. It was
yeah.
what's the ref name? That he's been on a bad run.
Oh shit! You're asking for too much, bro.
No, he did because he stopped the other fight. The ref, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Kenny Bayless. I don't know. I'm just
No,
throwing a
not
name.
Bayless. Not Bayless. It was whatever. It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. I know.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Let me see if I can pull him up. Tony Weeks.
Weeks. Yeah, weeks. So yeah, no man, it's
Tony Weeks in the knee. Tony Weeks in the knees, brother.
I get so weak in the knees.
So
But yeah, no, I just think Isaac Cruz I think that's gonna go decision. I'm gonna lean towards Cruz to win in a decision against Rolly.
yeah, I could see Rolly winning that fight though.
I can see it going either way.
Yeah,
But I'll edge it out to I don't see it's blown out. I'll edge it out to the underdog winning, Isaiah Cruz winning by a split decision.
I did not like Isaac Cruz's last performance. That's the only
I
thing
said
that.
Isaiah.
What's that?
No, I said Isaiah. Did I say
didn't
Isaiah? I think I said Isaiah.
That's fine. I mean, we're from Miami. We don't know anything. I think.
I'm turning them black. Next, I'm gonna put some dreads on them.
Well, I mean, there's Mexicans named Isaiah too, bro. So Giovanni Cabrera, right? That's who he fought last time. He won a split decision, Gary, in that fight. And it was not a good performance. That's the only thing that's making me feel like Rolly's got a real chance here. I mean, I would say it's like real close fight, almost 50-50. It's almost 50-50.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with 50-50.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying it's no blowout. That's why I said split decision. And because of Rolly power, at any point he can catch him and really hurt him.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But Pitbull only losses to Tank, and he fought good in that fight.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, I would take him for the win as well. And so we have all that. The other thing I wanted to talk about real quick was, it looks like Saudi did it again, man. They got, this is just something I want to touch on real quick. They got Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing and Frank Warren of Queensbury Promotions, who are bitter rivals, right? Both out there in the UK putting on fights for decades now. Um, and they got them to shake hands and agree to a 5 versus 5. I mean, these are two promoters, from what I've heard, right, that like dislike each other so much, like they would like send legal letters to each other to like, basically threaten each other legally and stuff like that. And the Saudis were able to get them to shake hands, agree to a 5 versus 5. And these are going to be 5 of some of the best fighters in their divisions. I guess Eddie Hearn gets to pick 2 weight classes. Frank Warren gets to pick 2, and Turki Al Sheikh gets to pick 1. It's going to be interesting, man. And, of course, we've got big fights coming up ahead in Saudi Arabia. We got Fury versus Usyk. And then I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, do you know who Joshua's got next?
No, I don't. I mean, I know he's sitting there waiting to see what's happening with the Usyk AJ fight.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, it's a rematch clause in that too, so that might be way out. But they did mention, Frank did mention, I have the best heavyweight out there when they were picking, because I believe they did. It's going to be 2 heavyweight fights, a featherweight, flyweight fight, and there's going to be a 168. I forgot the other is 168, 2 heavyweight fights, flyweight, I think they said, and I forgot it's 5. I don't know what the 5th one is. I forgot.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I was thinking about that too, because I'm like, well, Tyson Fury's already locked into Usyk for 2 fights, and then so I'm trying to just think. I don't know everybody they have on their roster, so I'm just trying to think of. And then Eddie Hearn, I know he said, "Can we pick up other fighters?"
They're saying it might happen. They're saying it might happen next March, right? Warren, who promotes Fury, I guess he told Sky Sports that next March, if Tyson does what he's supposed to do and AJ wins, it's going down next year, March. I guess that's what they're aiming for.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I don't think AJ will sit on the sideline until next year, March. He's got to fight somebody. It's going to be, and then I'm seeing Zhang and Wilder might be fighting, which is interesting too.
Maybe he's still trying to set up that Wilder fight for another payday. Get that payday right before the Fury and build up that fight. Because think about it, if he fights Wilder and knocks Wilder out, do you know the level of hype it will be for a Fury versus AJ at that point?
Yeah, that'd be pretty wild.
That'll be hype. And I know Ngannou's not a boxer, but everybody was,
especially if Fury beats Usyk, bro.
But I'm saying, Ngannou's not a boxer like that. He's an MMA fighter that transitioned to boxing. But everybody was talking about how great he looked knocking out Ngannou. And Ngannou and Tyson Fury couldn't do it. And then you go back to another way where he goes and then knocks out Wilder if he can, or really dominates Wilder. Then it's like, we want to see Fury and AJ. That fight becomes huge.
Yeah. I'm thinking another fair situation would be maybe Parker gets to fight. Maybe Parker gets to fight Joshua again for some kind of belt. Maybe one of the belts vacates and Parker gets to fight Joshua, because Parker's coming off those 2 big wins, man. I mean, he's earned something.
It's still not as big of a fight as if, those others. Don't get me wrong. Parker has been lately. He's been, and you got
Wilder, man. He beat Zhang and Wilder.
I mean, maybe Parker can fight
Hrgovic.
I'd say, I can't say his name. Hrgovic. Maybe he can fight him because he's the next in line for everything. Because he, you know what I mean. So maybe if Parker beats him, then maybe that becomes more of a fighting one of the top guys or something like that. But he's already gotten beat by AJ. He's got knocked out by what's his name? Can't think of his name right now. But
Joe Joyce. Joe
yeah,
Joyce.
Joe against Joe Joyce.
Who made a comeback? I think a couple of days ago or whatever, and just did not look that great, man. I mean, he won, but
Who was it? Who you talking?
Joe
You talking
Joyce.
Joe Joyce?
Man. Joe Joyce
Oh, you
came
talking
back,
Joe
yeah,
Joyce? Oh,
and he fought Cash Ali, a guy named Cash Ali, and it was just he got hit over and over again.
he always gets hit.
Yeah, he got hit over and over again with a big right hand. But
He always gets hit.
I wonder what the issue is with Hrgovic, man. I mean, I want to see Hrgovic get back in there too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I mean, he deserves it, to be honest with you. But I think they're trying to get out the way of the Usyk, the Fury, and the AJ Wilder thing. Once that gets settled out, I think Hrgovic will get a shot at something, one of these bigger fights. But they got to get that. That's been brewing for so long. They got to get that out the way.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Knuckleheads, if you're just joining us, remember, subscribe to the channel, join the channel to help us continue to build Fighters Rep. And, of course, get your tickets to Fighters Rep 23 and 24. 23 is going down in Pompano Beach, Florida, June 1st. 24 is going down at the beautiful Commerce Casino in Los Angeles on June 8th. You get your tickets at fightersrep.com. And if you can't make it, you can always catch a live stream right here on the YouTube channel by joining. You have to join and pay that $9.99 a month, which just goes back into this promotion and helps me and Gary and everyone else continue to promote these fantastic fighters. Gary, they're coming together, man. Let me touch on this real quick before we let you go. Fighters Rep 23 is coming together. Fighters Rep 24 is coming together. You know, our network is a little bit more established in Los Angeles, so we're already damn near at a full card in Los Angeles. And I'll say we're something like halfway in Florida for Fighters Rep 23. So, man, fantastic fighters on the card, some of the best teams. Gary, that last event in Los Angeles as well, absolutely crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. We're going to have to fly you out for one of these pretty soon. But you got to attend the Florida one first. You got to attend the Florida one first.
Yeah, yeah. You the next one, my daughter's birthday, that one. The next one, I'm out there. You already know, man.
Yeah. But anyway, man, that's pretty much all we got for you. Anything you want to say to the Knucklehead Nation there, Gary?
Nothing, man. Enjoy, y'all. Come, we're gonna make sure we keep it coming.
Yeah. And I think we might have to do some post-fight stuff soon. So stay tuned, Knucklehead.
I'm coming to your house. You got the beers?
All right, man. Have a good one. Thank you, man.
Yeah.